I don't know your specific circumstance. If you're a parent, a grandparent, if you are a neighbor, right, a church member, whatever the thing is, the reality is that you are going to die, right? So I hate to break that news to you if it's a surprise to you. The reality is every day that we live, we're actually going closer to that time, and sometimes we have control over the conditions and how that goes down, right? As far as when we go and how we go. But many times we don't. We don't have nearly as much control as we would like to. So after going to a funeral recently and reliving, so thinking about some of the other times in my past where I've seen people die, lost people, don't understand, had all kind of questions. Listen, I don't understand any of that, and the reality is that all I can do is work with what I have. So this is going to be very transparent and very straight to the point. So the reality is that since we're going to die, right, and since you don't know when you're going to die and what the conditions are, and I don't either, and I don't control that. So my responsibility with what I have as far as my tool bag is to help you in the ways that you will allow me to help you. If it was up to me, I kick your door in and I would force you to put a will in place. Why? Because it's for the best benefit of your family. I would take the money out of your bank account, right? Out of your savings account, out of your checkings account, right? Or wherever place that you're storing up money, and I will put it in a life insurance policy, right? If I could do that, right? But the reality is that's not legally what I can do. I can't force you to put a will and testament in place. I can't force you to put a trust in place. I can't force you to buy life insurance. So what I can do is make sure that I am doing my best to make sure you understand why, right? Why that's so important. So for grandparents, you have grandchildren that are doing things that you know that they shouldn't be doing. Maybe not all the time, right? Maybe you're in a great place where you're a grandparent whose grandchildren are doing the things that you're supposed to do. Maybe you're not, right? Maybe you're one of those grandparents whose kids are doing dumb stuff, right? They out doing all kind of foolish things, and it keeps you up at night, worried about what it is that they have going on. So I encourage, right, that you do what you can do to keep them out of harm's way. But since you can't control a number of things, one thing you can control is what will happen financially if something were to happen, right? So I highly suggest that you consider putting some things in place that again will financially support you if something were to happen. It's not a case where I want anything to happen. I never want anything to happen to anybody, but the reality is things do happen and people do die, right? So with that being said, if you are a grandparent, then I highly encourage, why not buy life insurance for your grandchildren, right? Policies are super small as far as the amount of premium. You can get multiple kids covered for probably about $20. If you have four grandkids, you can get them covered for probably about $15-$20. If it's an individual grandchild, then we can do something probably in the range of like $5 or something like that. There's no excuse. We can do accidental life insurance for super cheap. So do it, parents. You know where well, you maybe don't know where your kids are, but the reality is that things are happening, right? And I'm learning that more and more every single day. So I highly encourage that you put something in place for them, right? So for yourself, you don't know when you're gonna go, right? But the reality is it's gonna be a financial burden that's gonna be left behind when you do leave. That's the reality of it. So do you want them to deal with the emotional burden of losing you and the financial burden of taking care of what you should have taken care of? That's the reality, right? So if you're a grandparent, same thing, just making sure things are in place. So what I want to make sure that I'm doing is that I am offering death insurance and life insurance, which sounds crazy. So I'm saying to you, right, if you are looking for a life insurance policy that's going to pay a death benefit for the benefit of other people that you love and care about, to protect them, and it's been on your heart to do it, you know you've been wanting to do it but been putting it off, this is your opportunity, right? Reach out to me, give me a call, put yourself on my calendar. We can do it by phone, we can do it online, whatever it is. There's just no excuse. So I'm encouraging that you be able to take that stand, right? Make that step to do what's right. If it is a case where you're looking for life insurance, and I call life insurance that, yes, it can have a death benefit, but you're not just getting it for the death benefit. There are other benefits that you can use while you're living. So if you're looking at doing something like that, then I suggest that we go ahead and talk. Okay. So as far as what I'm sharing with you, there are different types of life insurance policies that people probably have no idea about, right? This image shows for children that are 0 to 18 years old. So if you want to put something in place for a child, you can do that. But these things are beneficial to anybody, right? Available to everybody. So if you are looking for an accidental death policy, right? Because things happen, right? Accidents happen all the time. It's the number one death for everyone up until age, I think, 52 or something like that. So it's a case where accidental death insurance is really good. We can get something in place for less than $10 a month for adults. For kids, probably about $5 a month or something like that. And we're talking about like $100,000 worth of coverage. It's good insurance, right? Term life insurance, right? I hear things like buy term and invest the rest, right? Or whole life insurance is bad, term life insurance is bad. Like any insurance that you buy, right, that's in place when you die that pays out to your family is good insurance. I'm just gonna be honest about that. So term life insurance is really good insurance. It does not build cash value, but it's great for being able to pay off debt. It's great for being able to secure, right, it against the debt. Say if you have a car or a house, you want to make sure if something happens to you, that is freely, paid off. Business would be great, right? If you have a business that you're operating and you want to make sure all the expenses are paid off, or you have a partnership, right, with somebody, and you want to make sure that your portion of the business is paid off and it pays for it to the to your partner, or to your family. Maybe you want to make sure that it's paid off and your family can have the portion of the business or the entire business, right? So these things can be put in place with term life insurance. You can do that. There's usually a fixed term, could be 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years. So you want to make sure that it is for a specific purpose, right? But it's still really good insurance. It could be whole life insurance. Whole life insurance is good life insurance, right? Again, any insurance that pays out when you die, I think is good insurance. Whole life insurance is one that does build cash value. So if you're looking for something that does build cash value, it's a great place to be able to have a premium that you're paying and have a small portion of that premium that can go to a place where it's going to build some cash value so you can access it if you choose to in the future. It's good insurance, right? The good thing about whole life insurance is that it's in place for your entire life. So for most people, you're going to be most likely to die probably after age 65, right? So if you make it to 65, then you're going to be most likely to die after 65. So I highly encourage people to buy whole life insurance. Why? Because the goal of life insurance, if you're buying it, should be to be in place whenever it is that you die. And we don't know the time, right? So what if you have only a term life insurance policy or something through work? So then you leave work, then you don't have anything, and then something happens. It's not going to pay out, right? All the premiums that you paid, they're going to just stay at the life insurance company. So whole life insurance is one that I highly recommend, right? So again, just depending on what your purpose is, I do offer that. I also offer something called an index universal life insurance policy, right? I really look at that as being one that encompasses all, right? It can do it all. Super flexible premiums, right? Super flexible death benefit. I like it. I call the purpose that I use an index universal life insurance policy. The purpose I use it for is as a storehouse of wealth, right? And the reason why I call it that is because I can make sure that the premiums that I pay are low enough so that all the money that I normally would save in a bank account or put in the stock market, wherever the investment would be, is I can put that money right inside the life insurance policy and have it earn an interest, right? I love it. It's super safe and secure. I never have to worry about the money being lost. And I'm earning a very strong interest rate. So if I don't like the interest rate that I'm getting, I can just put it in a fixed place and I can earn what the banks are offering or better, right? So I like that. And it has tax advantages. So I'm earning that money tax deferred, meaning I don't have to report that on my taxes, and when it pays out, whenever the time is, when the death comes, it's going to pay out tax free. So that's just a wonderful thing, and many other benefits to having an index universal life. But I highly suggest, if you are looking to save money, right, have money grow, but have it grow in a safe way. If you would like to build what I call multi generational wealth, right, being able to set something up to make sure that not just you, but maybe your kids and grandkids can benefit from the same premium, then I suggest you do that. I look at it as an active investment account. So if you are actively investing, buying houses and cars, right, have business operations, whatever you're doing, it's a great place, right? Stack money in it, right? It'll be there when you need it to do your business operation, do your deal, right? Do it, make a profit, and put the money back. It's just a wonderful place. So if you are looking for an active investment account, then I can offer that. But the main thing is to make sure that you are taking action, right? That you're doing something, right? When I used to go into homes, I haven't been in homes like I should be, and it looks like I'll be getting back into homes far more than I did in the past. But I would go into those homes, right? If it's you, you know, you had a spouse, and your wife, your husband, you're right. I'm sitting in front of you, right? And or if it's just you, right? I'm sitting in front of you, and my goal was to kill you, right? My goal was to kill the wife and the husband, right? It right there in the house, right? So I'm looking at the wife, and I say, hey, if this person, right, that you love, your husband, is dead today or tomorrow, what is that gonna look like for you, right? And that sounds harsh, but the reality is somebody's gonna die, right? I don't make people die; someone's gonna die, and then the reality is, if I don't paint that scenario, paint that picture, then the husband's going to die and the wife's got to deal with it, and then he's already gone and he can't do anything to help her out, or vice versa, right? So it's easier for me to get into a home, or right here on this call, to make sure I'm giving you that scenario so that you can do something about it, right? So think about it. If you leave today, what is that going to look like for them, whoever them are, right? Kids, grandkids, whoever it is, they're going to have to deal with whatever it is that you didn't put in place, right? And again, thinking about other people when they die, if they die, what is that going to look like for you, right? And for many people, it's usually one person that's the most responsible that everything is going to fall on. How do you feel about that, right? So I don't just encourage you buying life insurance up is what I would call it, right? Or down. Sorry about that. Meaning you put life insurance on yourself and on your grandkids and on your children, but I also suggest that you buy life insurance going up, right? So if you are a child, yeah, you should pay for premiums for your mother and your grandparent. Why not? If you know they don't have life insurance and when they die, you're going to have to pay for it, why doesn't it make sense for you financially to pay maybe $40, $50 a month, right? To pay into a policy, knowing that you're going to be able to get that money when they die to pay for the funeral expenses and whatever the debt or whatever it is they have, opposed to waiting for that time to come, knowing that, again, they're going to die at some point, and that your family member or friends probably don't have the finance to do what they need to do. So now you got to go into your savings account, you got to go into your investments, you got to do whatever it is to try to make do at that time to make reparations to pay for that. It doesn't make sense. Pre-plan it, buy the life insurance policy, pay for it, know that it's in place, right? It's a good financial investment. And when they die, the money's going to be there, right? Hope that makes sense. So, one of the other ones that's not common to talk about is something called an endowment. So, you can set up an endowment for your kids, but you could also set up an endowment for any reason. All it is you taking sums of money. It could be maybe $1,000 a year, right? Or $600 a year, whatever it is. And you can pay that on a monthly basis, maybe $50 a month, and what you're doing is you're paying into this life insurance policy, and it has an expiration or a maturity date. That's what it is. So you determine the maturity date. So it could be in 10 years and 15 years and 20 years, 30 years, whatever the maturity date is. So you're going to pay the scheduled premium knowing that you're going to receive back, right, at that time, whatever that date is, the matured amount, right? And in many cases, it could be double, right? So whatever you paid in, then you're not going to get that money back. You're going to get probably double that amount, and it's going to pay out, right, as an endowment. So for some people that are paying for education, like what I can't think of what the college plans, whatever the different college plans are, then they have to be used for education. You can set the same thing up in an endowment, and when the money is available, you can use it for whatever. You don't have to just use it for education. You can use it for anything for your child, right? Paying for their first down payment for their first house, or paying for their first house, paying off school loans, right? Whatever the thing is that you wanted to do, you can do that. So that is a very good thing that I highly suggest that anybody do. So with that being said, I said this video would not be long. My name is Corey Pritchard. I live in Dayton, Ohio. I was actually born and raised in Louisville, Kentucky. I spent time writing life insurance and helping people in Louisville, Kentucky. Been here in Dayton, Ohio, trying to do the same thing and just really wanting to be more aggressive and bold about making my services available. So if you don't have a will and testament in place. I'm not going to say shame on you. It's probably more than 70% of Americans that do not have that in place. So you're not alone. I will help you do that. I can help set that up or help you set that up within about 30 minutes, right? I'm going to do that at no cost to you. So I'm offering that those services. So there's no excuse for you not to have that in place. Also, if you have any need for any life insurance, any questions about life insurance at all, it doesn't cost you anything to see what you qualify for, if you qualify for something and getting something in place. So we can do that. So feel free to call. And I usually have a tagline that I kind of go under. Let's talk about life, right? So if it happens to be a case where you're not really that interested, have not in need of a will and testament, or uh, talking about putting a life insurance policy in place, and I am absolutely available to talk about life. Like, life is very interesting, to say the least, right? So if you would like to have conversations about life and things that maybe we can do to make some adjustments to make things a little bit easier, or if you just need an ear, right, to talk somebody to talk to about life, then we can do that, right? I'm not saying that I know it all. I do not, right? I don't. All I can do is offer what has worked for me, right? Offer truth, and then give you something that you can decide that you're going to spin off of. You're right, or decide what you want to do with that. But I'm not going to force my beliefs on anybody. It's not for me to do that. But I do want to make sure that if that's something you're interested in, that I do share some of those things. So, with that being said, again, my name is Corey Pritchard. I am the head financial engineer here with True Financial Engineering. Again, let's get this life thing working, right? Let's talk about life. Let's get the wheels in place. Let's get the life insurance in place, right? If nothing else, let's start some conversations to get this thing moving. If it is a case where it's not for you, but you know that your neighbor don't have it, your coworker don't have it, mom, dad, grandparents don't have it, whatever it is, send them this video. Shoot them this video. Tell them it's in love, right? Not in condemnation. You just tell them you love them and you want to make sure that you can help them out, and somebody that's putting themselves out there and offering to be able to help them at no cost to them. Again, if it was up to me, I would pay for your life insurance policy. I mean, it means that much to me, and I know that it's something that is worth it. So I would absolutely do that. Legally, I can't do it as a professional, but financially, it's just no way I'm going to pay for everybody's life insurance policy. But I can put the will and testament, or help you put that will and testament in place. I can do that. So give me a call, shoot me an email, go to the website. It's Victory, actually, truefinancialengineering.com. Again, truefinancialengineering.com. You can also look at other videos. I have training. I highly suggest that you look at financial literacy training, not just from me, but anybody that you can get it from. It's truth-based information. So that's there if you're interested in it. I look forward to helping you retire into God's unique purpose for you. Have a great day.